My name is Sophie. I'm 36 years old. And a few weeks ago, my older sister pointed at my 13-year-old daughter in front of our entire family and said, "She's mentally behind." My daughter cried in the bathroom for half an hour, asking me if there was something wrong with her brain. If you knew my sister, Hannah, you'd sadly not be surprised. Hannah is 2 years older than me. She's always been the blunt one, the no-filter person in the family. Growing up, she'd say cruel things and then shrug it off with, "I'm just being honest." Someone has to say it. Don't be so sensitive. Our parents rarely called her out. If I complained, I heard, "That's just how Hannah is. She doesn't mean anything by it. You need to toughen up." Fast forward 20 years. She hasn't changed much. She has 2 kids, 15-year-old Caleb and 11-year-old Mia. They're both bright, high-achieving, straight-O students, soccer and debate, honors this and accelerated that. Hannah talks about them like they're walking trophies. Every family gathering, she lists their latest accomplishments, compares them to other kids, makes little observations about who's ahead and who's falling behind. My daughter Ava is not like that. Ava is 13, soft-spoken, artistic. She likes drawing, writing, reading, fantasy books. School is harder for her. Not impossible, just slower. When she was 10, her teacher suggested getting her evaluated. She was losing focus in noisy classrooms, taking longer to finish tests, overwhelmed by multi-step instructions. We had her tested and found out she has Humiliated, some processing speed issues. Not a catastrophe, not a tragedy, just information. We adjusted. I got her a tutor a couple times a week. She has accommodations at school, extra time on tests, quieter spaces. We work on organization skills together. We constantly reinforce. Your brain works differently. That doesn't make you less. She's creative and kind and tries really hard. She's proud when she earns a B+ in math because she knows how much work went into it. I am too. I told my parents about her diagnosis because I wanted them to understand. I did not tell Hannah the details because I knew her pattern. Label kids, turn private info into evidence for her comments. Of course, she still made her little digs. Wow, Caleb learned that in 5th grade. Mia could read chapter books at 7. Some kids just develop faster. You baby her too much, Sophie. She'll never toughen up. Every time I shut it down. We don't compare kids. She's doing fine. Her pace is her own. Ava hears more than we think, though. She's asked, "Why does Aunt Hannah always talk about grades? Why does she act surprised when I know something? Does she think I'm dumb?" I always say, "No, she's just rude." But I could tell the seeds of self-doubt were there. Then came my parents' idea of a big family dinner. They invited me, my husband, and Ava, Hannah, her husband, and their 2 kids, my aunt and uncle, a couple of cousins. 13 people crammed around my parents' dining table for a Sunday roast. Before we left, Ava asked, "Is Aunt Hannah going to be there?" "Yeah," I said. "Why?" She shrugged. "She always asks about my grades. I don't like it." I considered skipping. I really did. But my mom had been pushing. "We never get everyone together anymore. Just one nice meal, please." So I compromised. I told Ava she didn't have to answer any question that made her uncomfortable. I told myself I'd shut Hannah down fast if she started in spoiler. That still wasn't enough to prevent what happened next. Dinner started off normal enough. The kids sat half at the main table, half at the kids' corner. My dad carved the roast. My mom fussed about whether there were enough potatoes. There was the usual overlapping conversation and passing of dishes. As expected, Hannah dominated. She talked about Caleb's advanced math class, Mia's travel soccer team, the gifted label teachers had used. Every achievement was a humble brag. At one point, my aunt turned to Ava and asked, kindly, "And how's school going for you, sweetie?" Ava, who hates being the center of attention, mumbled, "It's okay. I like art. Math is kind of hard, but I'm doing better." I smiled. "She's been working really hard this year," I added. "Her grades have gone up." Hannah, never one to miss a chance, jumped in. "Math is hard for a lot of kids," she said. "Some brains are just more analytical. Some are more creative. Not everyone can be top of the class." The way she looked at Ava when she said that made the implication clear. I said as evenly as I could, "Top of the class is not the only measure of success." She shrugged. "I'm just saying. It is what it is." I changed the subject. Later, after we'd eaten most of the main course, things started to unravel. Ava and Mia were sitting next to each other at the end of the table. There was a plate of rolls between them. Mia grabbed the last one just as Ava was reaching. "Oh, sorry," Mia said. "Did you want it?" Ava shook her head. "It's okay." Mia tore it in half and offered some. Ava smiled and reached for it. but in doing so, she bumped her water glass. It tipped and spilled, not dramatically, just a small wave onto the tablecloth and her own lap. She gasped, startled, and immediately started grabbing napkins, apologizing. I'm sorry, she kept repeating, cheeks flushing. It's fine, I said, already getting up to help. Before I could reach her, Hannah's voice cut through the chatter. Oh my God, Ava, she said loudly, half laughing. You're 13. How are you still this clumsy? Ava froze. Hannah gestured at her with her fork, chuckling to the whole table. I swear, she said. Emotionally, she's 13, but mentally, she's behind. Like, what, 10? 11? The room went silent. I saw Ava's eyes widen, her face drain of color. My brain took a second to register what I'd just heard. Then the anger hit so fast, I actually felt my hands tingle. I said in a tone I rarely use, Hannah, that is not okay. She blinked at me, genuinely confused. What? She said. I'm just saying. It's obvious she's slower. You baby her too much. My mom muttered, Hannah, under her breath, but didn't say anything louder. Ava whispered, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and practically bolted from the table. I stood up. Ava, I'll be right there, I called, then turned back to my sister. Did you seriously just call my daughter mentally behind in front of everyone? I asked, my voice shaking. Hannah rolled her eyes. Oh, come on, she said. You're twisting my words. I didn't say she was mentally disabled. I said she was mentally behind. There's a difference. She struggles. It's not an insult. It's an observation. I stared at her. It absolutely is an insult, I said. And even if you meant it as an observation, you do not point at a child and label them like that. My dad tried to jump in. Let's all calm down, he said. It was just a joke. I snapped my head toward him. It wasn't funny, I said. Look at her, she ran out of here crying. Hannah huffed. She's too sensitive, she said. The world is not going to sugarcoat things for her. If she's behind, she needs to know. Behind what, Hannah? I said. Your kid's timeline? Your idea of smart? She's not in competition with them. She's in competition with life, Hannah shot back. If she can't handle a little comment from her aunt, how is she going to handle the real world? I wanted to scream. Instead, I said, very quietly, we'll talk about the real world in a minute. Right now, my child is crying in a bathroom because her aunt humiliated her. Excuse me. I walked down the hall to the bathroom and knocked. Ava? It's Mom. Can I come in? There was a sniffle, then the soft click of the lock. She was sitting on the closed toilet seat. Knees pulled up, eyes red and swollen. I'm so stupid, she choked out. She's right. I'm behind. I always mess up. My heart broke. You are not stupid, I said immediately. And she is absolutely, completely wrong to say what she did. I spilled water, Ava whispered. Who does that at my age? Everyone spills things, I said. Adults spill things. Her comment wasn't about the water. It was about her own issues, not you. She shook her head. She always talks like that, she said. About my grades. About how Caleb and Mia are ahead. I know I'm not like them. I try so hard and I still can't keep up. I took a deep breath, trying not to cry myself. Listen to me, I said. Your brain works differently. That doesn't make it worse. It makes some things harder and some things easier. You are smart, kind, creative, and funny. None of that is measured by how fast you finish a math test or whether you spill a drink at dinner. She didn't look convinced. She said I'm mentally behind, Ava said again, like she was turning the words over and over. Is that what you think too? Is that why I have to go to the other room at school sometimes? No, I said firmly. You go to the other room because it helps you focus. Because you deserve tools that work for you. And if anyone in this family uses that information against you, that says everything about them and nothing about you. She sniffled. I don't want to go back out there. Okay, I said. You don't have to. We can leave. I'll get our things. She blinked. Won't Grandma be mad? Grandma can deal, I said. My job is to protect you, not her feelings. For the first time since she'd started crying, a tiny, shaky smile appeared. Okay, she whispered. I left her to splash cold water on her face and went back to the dining room. Everyone looked up as I came in. We're leaving, I announced. Ava's upset and I'm not making her sit through this. My mom frowned. Sophie, can't you just… No, I said. Hannah crossed a line. Hannah snorted. Oh my God, she said. You're really going to storm out over this? It was one comment. One cruel comment, I corrected. About a child. About my child. In front of the whole family. She folded her arms. I said what everyone is thinking, she said. She struggles. She's behind. You're in denial. I took a breath. Even if that were true, which it's not in the way you mean it, is not your place to diagnose or announce anything about my child, I said. And it is absolutely not okay to use that language. She needs to toughen up, Hannah said. The world is not going to treat her like a special snowflake. No, I said. But the world also doesn't have a right to bully her in her own grandmother's dining room. I turned to my parents. I love you, I said. But if you're not going to call this out, I will. And I'm removing my daughter from this situation. Without waiting for a response, I grabbed our coats and walked back to the bathroom to get Ava. We left. On the drive home, she was quiet. Halfway there, she said, "Thank you for not making me go back out there." You never have to stay somewhere you're being humiliated, I said, even if it's family. And that was the moment I knew. Something had to change, permanently. The next day, my phone lit up. First, it was my mom. Hannah feels terrible. She says she didn't mean it that way. Can't you just talk it out? We're family. Then Hannah herself. If you're going to raise a kid who falls apart over a joke, that's your problem. I'm not going to tiptoe around your parenting issues. Then later, fine. I'm sorry she was upset. Happy now? Spoiler. I was not happy. I called my mom first. She's sorry, Mom insisted. You know she says things without thinking. You've always been too sensitive with her. I'm not talking about me, I said. I'm talking about my child. She didn't mean it literally, Mom said. Hannah loves Ava, you know that. If that's love, she can keep it, I replied. She's your sister, my mom said. You can't just cut her off over one comment. One comment you heard, I said. You didn't hear all the little digs over the years, the comparisons, the way Ava shrinks when her aunt is around. Mom was quiet for a second. I just don't want drama, she said. Can't you both apologize and move on? I have nothing to apologize for, I said. I protected my daughter. I will never be sorry for that. Later, I texted Hannah back. You didn't make a joke. You publicly labeled my 3-year-old as mentally behind and have compared her to your kids for years. That's not tough love. That's cruelty. She replied, I'm just telling the truth. She struggles. She's not at the same level. Someone has to be honest. I wrote, being honest about struggles is something her parents and teachers do privately and compassionately. What you did was humiliate a kid to make yourself feel superior. That's not honesty. That's bullying. Then I set out my boundary. Until you can genuinely apologize to Ava, not just sorry you were upset, and agree to stop comparing her to your kids or making comments about her intelligence, you will not be seeing her. That includes family gatherings. I'm done letting her be your punching bag. Her response was predictable. So you're going to alienate me from my niece over feelings? Good job. When she's weak and can't handle life, remember this moment. I didn't reply. Over the next few weeks, my parents tried to play mediator. Mom, maybe you can both just not talk about school when you're together. We'll keep things light at family dinners. Dad, your sister has a big mouth, but she loves you. Don't throw away your relationship over this. I told them calmly, I am not throwing it away. I am pausing it until Hannah can treat my child with basic respect. In the meantime, I limited contact. No more casual visits where Ava would be around Hannah. If there was a big event, I asked ahead, will Hannah be there? If yes, we're not coming. A few relatives thought I was being dramatic. One cousin messaged, our parents said worse to us growing up and we turned out fine. I replied, I didn't turn out fine. I turned out anxious and in therapy. I'm breaking the cycle, not repeating it. The most important part, though, was Ava. We talked a lot. I told her, what Aunt Hannah said was wrong. Adults can be wrong, even family. Your worth is not measured by how fast your brain works. We talked in age-appropriate ways about ADHD, neurodiversity, the fact that everyone's timeline is different. I made sure she knew. Her diagnosis is not a dirty secret. She does not have to be ashamed of needing support. Anybody who uses that to belittle her is out of line. One night, she asked, are we ever going to Grandma's again? I said, yes, but only when I know you'll be safe there. Emotionally safe. Right now, I don't trust that with Aunt Hannah around. She thought for a second and said, I'm okay not going for a while. That told me everything I needed to know. Months have passed now. Hannah has not apologized in any real way. She sent a couple of half-hearted heart texts. I miss you and Ava, but I'm not going to change who I am. I won't lie to her about how the world works just to make you comfortable. My answer has been simple silence. My relationship with my parents is strained. They see me as rigid. I see them as conflict avoidant to the point of enabling. We still see them at smaller, controlled meetups, without Hannah present. I've told them clearly, you're welcome in our lives. But if you invite someone who insults my child, we're out. No negotiation. Sometimes I second-guess myself. I was raised to believe family is everything, that you swallow hurt to keep the peace, that elders get a free pass on old-fashioned remarks. But then I picture Ava sitting on that toilet lid, sobbing, saying, is there something wrong with my brain? Because her aunt decided to score points at a dinner table. And I know I did the right thing. Family isn't blood. Family isn't shared holiday photos. Family is the people who protect you even from their own relatives. So I'm asking you, was I wrong for going low-key contact with my sister and refusing to let her around my 13-year-old until she acknowledges how harmful her words were? Should I have just let it go for the sake of family dinners, or was drawing a hard line the only way to keep my daughter from internalizing that kind of cruelty? Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you like Reddit-style family stories and Sophie's family drama, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more.